What's up, sippers? Welcome to another episode of Tea and Champagne Podcast. My name is Lena.
Hey sippers, my name is Dee. How you guys doing?
Hey,
Hey
so
Lena.
what's up, D? How you doing tonight?
Good, I'm good, chilling, chilling,
Yeah,
living.
living. I know. Yes. So, sippers, thank y'all again for always tuning in to us. We are so excited I'm just really happy that we have. Well, I'll talk about this later in the topic, but I'm really happy that we have been consistent with our episode consistency, dropping things on Thursday. And I feel like we've been doing a good job with that. So thank you all for continuing to tune in with us for the past 2 years. I looked at the analytics for last week's episode and y'all liked that one. Y'all ran that one up. So I mean, within a week's
Yay.
time, we got good plays on that. So thank y'all.
Yes, that is great news. I haven't had a chance to look at our numbers, but I'm excited that you guys were excited. And I know I was excited personally for that episode. I loved having family on,
Yeah.
and they enjoyed being on, and I'm so happy that we were able to highlight such a healthy dynamic. So, like Lena said, thank you guys for supporting us for
Yeah.
these past 2 years, and I'm proud of us for putting it out consistently. I want to give a special shout out to Lena for making that happen with getting the edits in. Y'all don't understand what goes into putting out content and then creating the clips to also get the engagement afterwards and to also kind of promote what we want to do for you guys. So that takes work, and I applaud Lena. She is our producer, and y'all, thank y'all because it makes it worth it to see y'all engaging and enjoying the episodes. And I think we got a couple of new subscribers too, like this
We
in
do.
the past 30 days.
We
So
do.
woohoo!
I looked at that too. Our numbers are growing on Spotify for sure. I haven't looked at Apple yet, but we do have a few listeners. So thank y'all for subscribing to us. So what's up, new sippers?
Hey Slippers, hey. Y'all leave something in the comments. Let us know if you new. Tell us if you new to the game. If you're a brand new Slipper, we'd love to know who you are if you'd like to share.
Let's see. What are you drinking today?
Yes, I was gonna make a sip right now, but before I do so, let me share my glass with y'all. I'm actually drinking wine. It's just some Moscato. Not just some Moscato, it's Moscato. But I'm waiting to get this bottle on empty before I crack open another one. Hopefully, our next episode, I'll pop some champagne because I think that's gonna be y'all. We have this episode and then we have a finale episode for our season, and
Hmm.
I want to have bubbly for that. But today, we doing Moscato, and it's very refreshing. It's a great way to end today. There's still some daylight out right now, so it just feels like it feels fitting and it's smooth. Seven Daughters, if y'all are interested. It's a good blend.
7. Dang,
Pretty smooth.
somebody was getting it popping. 7 daughters.
Yeah.
I don't know why my mind went there, but those are a lot of daughters.
Yeah, you know what? That is interesting. Now I want to know what really inspired
What
the name of this
inspired it?
bottle.
Yes. Well, I am drinking my sparkling water. So I still got the
Okay.
bubbly, but I still got my sparkling water, and I am drinking the mango flavor by LaCroix. And um it's really good. It's my
Sounds good.
favorite. It's my favorite. And then I also like, I think it's called limoncello. I think that's what it's called. My coworker actually introduced it to me. And it's got like this lemon popsicle flavor taste. And
Ooh,
it's really good. Now, I actually may prefer that over mango, but both of them are my favorite. So cheers to
sounds
that.
cheers. It sounds refreshing.
Yes. Because I always keep a little soda water with me everywhere I go now. Oh, yeah,
Yes, you
and
do.
Chick-fil-A sells soda water too. They have it too.
Really?
Yes, they do.
Like,
They
because you
do.
asked, or is that, have they always had it? Okay.
I don't know how long they've had it, but I asked for it and they gave it to me like the last 2 times that I've been there. So
Chick-fil-A, they really be the truth sometimes. They
they don't
always
have the
coming
lemon
through.
and lime to go with it, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool
What
too.
can you do?
Yeah.
Not yet, anyway.
Let's get to our housekeeping notes, sippers. Of course, we want your journal entries. We know that we've been getting up close and personal with you guys, so we hope that you all appreciate that. And we want to get up and close and personal with you all. Again, just remember to send your journal entries to our email address, teaandchampagnepod@gmail.com, and we will read your journals anonymously. So if you're care to share, nobody has to know it's you, but thank you for being vulnerable. Let's see. Black Business of the Week. Yes, we are going to recognize B.O.O.M, which is powered by Rise Chattanooga. B.O.O.M stands for Black, Brown, Owned, Operated Marketplace. This is a new marketplace founded on Glass Street. I will put the description in the box. I mean, in our information part of our podcast. But
Yeah.
Rise is an independent Black led founded nonprofit community art and culture organization dedicated to the development of creative programming and events that aim to transcend cultural barriers while promoting more awareness, vibrancy, uh, inclusiveness and resiliency for the greater Chattanooga communities. Again, B.O.O.M is powered by Rise Chattanooga, and it's basically a local Black owned market or brown market on Glass Street. I don't know much about. I haven't been to the market yet. I know that there are some good brands that are good vendors there. I don't know if I'm explaining this correctly, but it's pretty much a local vendor marketplace for Black owned businesses. I know that Channing has a her brand, her clothing line is there. I think she makes those fitted baseball caps that's got the embroidery or the stones, the rhinestones on them, which are real fly.
Shout out
Um,
to Channing because they are
yeah,
fly.
also, and I've been seeing girls wearing like the baddies been fly. Like they wear their, cute outfits and then put that hat on and y'all been like really showing out with it. It's really girly too. I think it's really nice. Also, Shay, our Black Business of the Week a couple of weeks ago, Natural Bar
Hmm.
by Natural Bar Shay. I'm sorry if I can't say that right, but I know her smoothies and juices are there.
Yes.
I don't know who. Do you know any other brands that are
The
there?
essential things candles are there. You
Yes,
know,
Asha.
our favorite candle supplier and oil diffuser supplier, she has her products there too. And
Yes,
I'm excited because her candles are like that.
yes,
So y'all support Boom. That's such a great initiative, and that's such a huge opportunities for these Black business owners to
yes.
be collectively in one spot. And it's a nice little place, and not little place either. It's a nice big place, and I would love to hopefully attend events there. I feel like it's a venue and a store and a market. I
Okay,
foresee so much with that organization.
okay. So I think I found the some of the brands that are there,
Okay.
or at least these are the people that's there that is supporting there. Okay, I know Flavorful Seasoning is there. That's the salt free
That's
seasoning,
another one.
Lauren.
Yes.
The Pancake Bakery.
Ooh, now
There
that
is
sounds
a
good.
Shy Roots. Looks like that's a barbecue marinated sauce.
Mm,
Let's see. So it looks like there's a lot of food there for sure. It looks like Coco Asante is selling her chocolates there too.
okay.
Level Salon, that's a hair and skin nails business. And these are some
Okay.
good businesses too, And I'm not sure how to if I'm pronouncing this right, but it looks like it's Aikiko Luxury Oil. That's also a hair and skin and nails business. And then C and C Candy Co. It looks like this is like apple and cotton candy, apple candy treats. So it looks like they have quite a bit of businesses that are there, and it's looks like it's a big variety. It's not just food and drinks, it's everything.
No,
So
it's
you
a
have your
market.
it's a market, yeah.
Yeah, it's a great way to give some of these commercial places a break. When
Yes,
you know you need some of these things, get
yeah,
them at this place, get it at
yeah,
Boom. And whatever Boom doesn't have, we understand if you gotta go where you gotta go. But, if you just need to grab a spice real quick, you might as
yeah.
well
And I heard some
support.
good things about Lauren's seasonings too. I haven't had cooked with them
Yeah,
yet, but a salt-free seasoning, that's got to be good.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's excited. So yeah, shout out to the Black Business of the Week.
Yes. And then I want to shout out the Glass Street Block Party, which is this weekend. We will be
Yes.
there. That's also a place for you to come and support your Black owned businesses. I'm so excited. We're returning there. So, any of the sippers that are in Chattanooga on Saturday that is coming to Glass Street Block Party and you want to promote your business, you want to promote your song, you want to promote your art, you want to promote
Yes.
your movie, your show, whatever
Mm-hmm.
you do, your
Mm-hmm.
craft. If you want to promote that on our podcast, you can. This is your
Yes, you
chance. We
can.
will have the microphone ready for you all, the camera ready for you all. This is your time to be a guest on our show and tell us what you got going on. So we're excited about that.
Yeah, it's
And
gonna be
shout out
fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, and shout out to the Bohemian for putting this event together again. And there's also going to be some good food trucks there. I think Bama Nougat Wings are going to, or Nougat Bama Wings. I don't know their name, but we can edit that part out.
Okay.
But there's going to be some food trucks there. I know Blush is going to be there. So they
They
were
came
there
through
last
last time.
time. I
Yes, yes,
think
yes, yes.
Island Soul, that
Ooh, they
Caribbean
also
food
came
truck.
through. Ooh, they saved the day. We ended the day last time with
Yeah,
them.
they hooked us
Ooh,
up.
those fish sandwiches were the best ones I had
Yeah,
in a long time.
yeah. So I'm excited.
Yay! Me
That's our favorite
too.
thing. I mean, I like
Yes.
when we go to these community events and talk to the people and give them their chance to shine and spill their tea. You
Yup.
know, just like when we're at the BEC Awards and excuse me, any other events that we go to where we're local and we hype it, get it. We allow our community to come together and promote what they have going on,
Absolutely.
you know?
Yeah.
All right. D, you want to
Okay.
introduce the topic?
I do. So, without further ado, I am going to bring in a topic to follow up to not our last episode when we were talking about love later in life, but the episode prior to that, kind of to balance with my journal entry where I got real vulnerable and expressed some frustration of my own. And I really appreciate you guys for your feedback and for your kind words and your comments to that episode. That really meant a lot. And I'm glad that it resonated with so many people that we all feel like life can be overwhelming. And I don't want to always focus on that though. I know we all can relate to those moments, but it is also just as important to pat yourself on the back when things are going well. And I always feel the need to acknowledge that big moments are worth praise and glory. But not everyone can reach their goals the way that they want to, and that's okay. That can be overwhelming, but it's also okay because they are moments that can be cushioned with the small wins in between. So today I just wanted to highlight our small wins because the small wins add up. And if you ever feel like, stagnant or, it's going to take forever to get to where you need to go, that's fine. You'll get there when you need to get there. But in the meantime, let's pat ourselves on the back for the smaller things that deserve recognition as well.
Okay.
So if you guys just, hear me out, because like I said, I want to take time to acknowledge other praiseworthy moments. And I did kind of write about it a little bit, so I'll just read, what I was saying on my heart about this topic. I want to counter every moment of disappointment and regret within myself with some pump yourself up energy and remember who I am and how much I love myself. Sometimes I got to remind myself that I'm dope and I think I'm dope and psychological, even to just say it out loud, even when you don't feel it in that moment. You just got to remember the things you enjoy about yourself and just say it out loud sometimes, get through some of those irritations that you might feel throughout the day, stressful moments. You just got to remember, I'm dope. I like me. I like me.
That's right.
I love me. So, yeah, and I do, I do. I might not like some things that I do, but overall, I do think I'm a cool person, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I remember that, and sometimes we want to make sure to every moment when we don't feel like that to balance that out with a within the next moment right after. Like, you know what? About that, I do love myself. And with those uncomfortable moments, those moments are important because being in that discomfort and being aware of that is what motivates you to make a change. We don't want to completely discount those experiences. We do need to acknowledge what's making us uncomfortable so we can do what we need to do to reach our goals.
Right.
And although that's true, we want to also take time to recognize, the goals that are actually being met, big and small. And today I want to lean into the small ones because, again, there are big moments that people highlight all the time and they post pictures about it, and that's cool. But let's highlight some of the ones people don't post pictures about that people
Okay.
can also relate to. A few examples of myself that I'm going to highlight that again should add up for me are like keeping up with my doctor's appointments. That's a win. That's a positive win. That's an important factor to me and the kids. And not everyone can say that they keep their physicals consistently once a year. As long as they're feeling good, some people are like, a physical is not necessary. I just need to go to the doctor when something is wrong. But if you have the insurance benefits where your preventative care is covered 100%, take advantage of those annual physicals if you can. Find you a provider that's in your insurance network and make an appointment. Even if you can't get in for the next couple of months, get it on the calendar. If you're with a good provider, they'll call and remind you. And I just want to pat myself on the back for taking that initiative for me and the kids consistently for years. I think it's probably because of my upbringing. My mom was really good about keeping us in the doctor's office regularly. I mean, we had the military benefits, so we weren't going to do nothing else. We were going to go on base and make those doctor's appointments. I'm proud that I've kept that going. And thank God, test results come back the way they need to. But sometimes they're like, well, we just ran your blood and your vitamin D is low, so we're going to write you a prescription for that. Or maybe your iron is low, so we're going to write you a prescription for that. But again, it's great that they're catching those things early. Early detection is key. So that's why those screenings are important. So, and again, before I get off this soapbox, I'm going to say, if you're not going, make those appointments. And when you do go, ask them to run that blood work. Advocate for yourself because sometimes doctors are like, well, we go through this questionnaire. You didn't say you have any problems. There's really no need for us to run labs. Tell them to run the labs anyway.
Right.
Tell them you want the screenings. Tell them you feel fine. You're not eating an obnoxious amount of sweets, but tell them you want to test your sugar anyway. Tell them you want to test your lipid levels, your lipid panels, your cholesterols, your all the things. They know what to do. They know what those screenings are about. And again, if they file your claims right, it should be covered under your preventative benefits. And if something isn't happening the way it's supposed to, direct message me. I'll talk to you about it. That's my little healthcare soapbox, and I'm hopping off of it. But get your annual appointments in. Dentist appointments too.
Mhm.
You're supposed to go to the dentist twice a year, y'all, every 6 months. And I'm patting myself on the back for keeping that regular. Again, a lot of people are like, my teeth feel fine. Why do I need to go to the dentist? Or some people are like, I don't like going to the dentist because it hurts. I don't like them poking around in my mouth, and every time I go, they're gonna find something and they're scared to go. Go to the dentist, y'all. Please. I cannot emphasize that enough because there's so many health related issues that stem from your gum lines. And for anyone interested in dating me, that's a deal breaker for me. I can't get past a yuck mouth. So please take care of them dental appointments. Your oral hygiene is very important. And again, I'm patting myself on the back for making sure me and the girls go to our dentist on a regular basis. So that's just, they're small adult things, like things normal adults do. But you would be surprised how many let it fall through the cracks. And that's okay too. That is okay. If you have, it's never too late to start. Washing my car was a big win this week. I was so glad that I took care of that. Something I procrastinate often on. And I was proud that I not only washed it, I deep cleaned it. And I know our last episode, we promoted residential detail, but sometimes I just got to do it. Like sometimes I have to. Um, when I'm in the mood and when I have the time, I just needed to take care of it in that moment. But if you did not have the time like I did, don't forget to get your car washed with presidential detail with my Uncle Derek. But for me, I was just proud that I took the initiative to get it out the way when I think I did it like on a lunch break.
Oh,
Yay
okay.
me. Asking my neighbor to cut the grass, y'all. If y'all are in the boat with yards and you let your yard go to, you let it slide a little bit like me. I understand. I totally understand. And I was that house on the block for a while. And so I finally, not that I cut my grass, but my neighbor is kind enough to cut my yard for me. And I finally was, ready for him to do it. Because sometimes I hold off on him coming over until I can walk the yard and make sure my dogs haven't left any presents that we overlooked. And, you know, now that I knew that was good to go, I was like, Kevin, please cut our grass. Praying out loud. That was an intention that I set with our last episode because prayer was a big topic between Charlotte and Uncle D. They were really adamant on how big prayer has been amongst themselves. And that was an intention that I set because I pray in my head a lot, but saying those words out loud, when no one's around or when people are around, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I've been better about that. We got to speak what we want into our existence, asking for forgiveness out loud or being thankful and praiseworthy out loud, just speaking it, talking to, the energy that I feel, the spiritual that I feel. I have been better about that and I'm proud of that. And I had a coffee this morning with someone, a work related encounter she was kind of shy to talk about what church she goes to because she's like, I usually don't bring this up because not everybody, feels comfortable about saying Jesus' name in front of other people. And I'm like, ma'am, I was raised in a church and God-fearing home. We could talk about God if you want to. We could talk
Yeah.
about Jesus. We could talk about our religion. I'm not one of those people that's saying it's an off, that's off limits of a topic. It's just you and I. And so we talked about that. And it felt good because a lot of moments are so like business and we don't want to be politically incorrect. And sometimes, when you just want to talk about spirituality with a stranger, sometimes we can talk about spirituality with a stranger. And that came up with two colleagues today. Like I had that coffee with her, and then I also shadowed a veteran at work today because he volunteers to visit other patients who are veterans as well. And I shadowed the hospital with him and I didn't help him, but I watched him do his rounds. And he has a program for PTSD
Mm-hmm.
to help veterans with their PTSD. But he said it's a faith-based program and he can't really promote it with the VA because it's faith-based. And I'm like, well, tell me about it because if it's by word of mouth, I'm gonna be an additional word of mouth because I'm proud to spread that around the community. I have a lot of veterans in our circle, so yeah, you met me for a reason. I'm also going to be one of your people to spread your word and what you're doing. So I was proud of that. So that's a moment that I will pat myself on the back. Again, these are moments that are okay to recognize. We don't always have to highlight when we graduated or got a certificate and bought a house or bought a car, and we don't, those are great moments, but I
Mhm.
know everyone's not at that place right now.
Mhm.
And even if you're not at that place, if you help someone feel good today, that's huge. Pat yourself on the back for that. Recognize that. And I know some people are like, if you're doing what you're supposed to do, why you need to acknowledge that and, take a moment to highlight mediocrity. And, it's mediocre things, praising those things for being mediocre. Yes, praise those things for mediocre. Highlight those participation ribbons. I don't care.
Mhm.
I do not care. I know that's a culture that might hinder kids when we're giving everybody a trophy and not just giving the people that win a trophy. I guess there's a time and a place for that. But we're adults and we've made it. Give yourself the recognition that you deserve. Like I said, we're patting ourselves on the back today. My last couple things that I'll say, and then I'll pass the mic to Lena. A big win this weekend. My kids interviewed for a volunteering position at the hospital, and we scheduled that in between a track meet. And so I was driving around downtown trying to get them to that interview and get Monet to her track meet. And I didn't know we was going to make it because the track meet and that interview were overlapping, but we made it. And I appreciate, shout out to the volunteers with Erlanger and shout out to the coordinators who organized the volunteering program and that volunteering program for teenagers to come into the hospital and volunteer in a healthcare setting. We appreciate that program, you guys, and thank y'all for interviewing my babies for it and being flexible because Monet made it right after her event. Shout out to Monet for her event. We got there about 15 minutes before they started closing interviews down, and I am proud of that because they really wanted to do it. And shout out for her for wanting to go to that interview in between her track meet. She was tired. She rolled up to that interview with her track uniform on when all the other kids had on their button ups and dress pants. She came through with her track uniform and her Nike slides, and she said, I'm about to do this interview, and they gonna take me as I am. So I'm proud of her for that. Proud of Mia for coming because, sometimes Mia and Monet, they're like two peas in a pod, but they're so different. And
Mhm.
so she was okay to come to an initiative that Monet was also interested in. So I'm excited to hopefully see them working together for a change. And again, Mia came through. She did not have a track meet, but she did decide to wear some jeans to her interview, and I was like, that's what you wear. But she shines. Like they both had to write essays for it, and their essays were excellent. And I was like, you know what? You can do this because you're gonna ace this interview, and they're gonna be so impressed by you that the jeans aren't gonna make a difference. But FYI, usually people put on business clothes for interviews, but that's okay. It depends on your setting though, because I've also seen people interview for tech jobs and people in tech usually dress in jeans and whatever, and that's what they wear to the interviews too. So it just depends. I get that too. And the last thing, Lena already kind of touched on it, but we haven't skipped a week on the podcast. I know when we do thumbs up, it does the thumbs up bubble. It's so weird. And if you do thumbs down, it will do a thumbs down bubble. But I ain't gonna do it. But yeah, we haven't skipped a week on the podcast. It didn't do it for you. I don't know why it did it for me. But yeah, that's a win. Being consistent, like Lena said, I feel good about that. Even when it's a Monday night and we tired, we gonna push through because once I get started, I forget that I'm sleepy because I'm having fun doing it. So
Yeah.
yay for consistency and yay for this platform and this opportunity. I've been talking about our podcast at work a few times this week and they have been showing interest and support and that makes it worth it. So I'll pass the mic on to Lena if you have anything you want to share. And you can go big or small. You know, for me, I wanted to highlight my small things, but for you, you can do small or big. If there's anything that's really big you want to tell the listeners, by all means, toot that horn. Toot, toot.
Okay. Well, Dee, thank you so much for sharing all of your wins this week, all of your worthy and worthy moments, things that you are proud of. I think it's good that you are saying those things out loud. I think it's good that you are changing your perspective on a lot of things and acknowledging the smaller things and, just, growing up like we all are. So let's see. My wins for this week are just wins in general. Well, lately I've been looking at my pictures since I have a new phone. I can actually see my pictures in my phone.
Yeah.
I've been looking at how let's see, when we did the journey through self-love episode with Edwina and Kiosha, I had just walked away from I guess I can be transparent. I had just walked away from a situationship that really hurt me really, really, really bad. So I
Yeah.
was looking at my pictures and I felt like my heart was broken into so many pieces. But I was looking at how I tried to pick myself up during that time. Because even recording that episode, I probably looked happy, but on the inside I was hurting. So I picked myself up doing that. We had gone to the Kristen event, self love Valentine's Day, the Galentine's Day event, and then
Yeah.
I can't remember the timeline, but even from that to my birthday and just really picking myself up, trying to get back into the gym and trying to figure out my new work schedule at the time and just like trying to show up for me despite how bad I was feeling on the other side. And
Hmm.
today I was listening to SZA's album Lana because Jaquise was talking about it. She was like she likes Lana, the SZA deluxe album, and I think I listened to it once and I wasn't really rocking with it the first time, but I listened to it today and there is a lot of growth in that album, kind of the growth that I thought SOS was gonna give us. But what she got in there is about a lot of love, a lot of um it's more of a self-love album. That's probably why it's called Solana.
Okay.
But it's like a lot of self-love, a lot of what she said, like I'm tired of hiding, I'm tired of people pleasing. She expresses how she was hurt on a lot of things and she's like, now it's your turn to hurt. It's my time to move on. I deserve that. She just talk about a lot of things that kind of like forgiving herself for the things that she kind of put herself through. And I don't know if I forgave myself completely yet, although it's been like 2 years walking away from that. But this is real tea. I still kind of like I've moved on and I'm doing well, but there are still little things that haunt me that I kind of still carry with me. And I kind of been trying to tell myself like, yeah, you did that, but I'm still working through this part of forgiving myself, right? I'm healed through the fact that I've moved on, but there are some lessons that I'm still trying to forgive myself for, right? So
Right.
I'm proud of myself for keep going. I kept going after that. Even with the job situation back in 2024, that was challenging too, but I still tried to, push through it all and move forward and find something different, another career path and everything. And I'm doing well in that. Also at work, being on time. Those are my bad habits that I've carried with me forever. So being on time is a great feeling. Leaving the house on time, going to bed on time earlier so I can get up and go to the gym on the days that I do go. being disciplined to go to the gym, change my eating habits. I'm not saying that I'm going to give up drinking, but it is around the corner because I know, like, without drinking alcohol, that's the first way to lose weight. It's easier because alcohol has a lot of calories in them, like cocktails, the cocktails we drink. I don't know about Prosecco. We may be calling this tea and sparkling water real soon. We're gonna change our name. But I don't know about Prosecco, how many calories it has, but um I don't have the urge to drink like I used to all the time. If I do, it may be sporadic because I did have a glass of wine last week, but I didn't finish it. And I'm good with just drinking maybe one cocktail at the bar instead of three or two, like, our bar hop right now. So I've been kind of consistent with that. I'm just growing up some things I'm not saying I'm losing interest in, but it just don't kind of serve me. But I'm happy that I'm in this season where I can recognize that, like, I really don't have to drink. The other thing I'm kind of, let's see, have been consistent. I'm very proud of myself for really I'm at the beginning of this content creating journey for our online presence, but the reels that we've created with us during our business meeting and the Sister Soul conference that we the self-care retreat and the wedding that I had gone to. Those are like a new series that I'm about to continue. That's new for me, having a real social media presence. I mean, doing this podcast was a challenge, and I'm happy that we're continuing it. But to really show my personality outside of the podcast and kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say too much either, but that's new for me. I'm glad that I'm making that effort, that attempt. What else? That's about it. That I could think of right now in my week. Oh, at work. I know I told you I've been doing some extra training, and it's because I have been making some mistakes at work, and I'm kind of doing some extra training to prevent me from doing these mistakes that I've made. And my old self, my emotional self would have been like, they picking with me. I'm mad. I'm not the only one that has to go through it. But I know my old self would have been like embarrassed, or I would have been very sensitive about the situation. I would have been mad. I would have attitude, like, ugh, whatever. But I'm learning, and I'm proud of myself for accepting, like, extra coaching is a good thing. Greatness takes time. Nothing's wrong with coaching.
Yeah.
If I'm doing so much of a bad job and they didn't tell me, then that would be a problem. So they're trying to
Yeah.
work with me so that I can be better. You know what I'm saying? So you ever seen that part on Love and Basketball when, what was the girl name in the movie? Senna Lathan was talking about, oh, well, coach keeps bothering me. I don't think she likes me or something like that. And she said,
Yeah.
well, if I'm talking to you, that means I like you. If I don't say nothing, you should be worried. And that's just
Exactly.
how I try to approach that situation now,
Yep.
or
Yep.
anything. Good things, I might need a little extra assistance, but I'm still they like me enough to make sure that I'm on the right path. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that
Mm-hmm.
logic.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Yeah, and just kind of like cheering myself on about things. There are a lot of challenges, a lot of scenarios that I deal with every day. And there are some times where I'm just like, okay, I don't want to do this. Sometimes it's like, I can't do this. Sometimes, that little Lena, my negative thoughts come through my head, and I'm like, why are you even trying to do this? And I've been trying to move past those thoughts, unlearn these bad habits and try to learn these good habits when I can say, I have everything, I have what it takes. That's what I've been trying to say. Like, that's affirmation. I have what it takes. Yes, I can. Just give it a try. Just those positive things in my mind. So I'm proud of myself to be consistent with consistent with that. Back on my affirmations. I took kind of a small break, but I'm back on my affirmations. And overall, I feel good. Like, I think last week, either last week or the week before last, I'm like, I like this flow of mine. This Monday, go to the gym in the morning, go to work all day, come home, record our podcast, and then go to bed, and then get up Tuesday, go to work, edit the podcast, go to bed, get up Wednesday, go to the gym. Like, I like this flow that I'm creating for myself. I'm busy through the week, you know what I'm saying? But I prefer being that way than to be depressed, you know what I'm saying? And I have things to do. Like, this podcast, it means the world to us. It's our baby. And I like our dedication here, and opportunities are being presented to us left and right. So, I'm proud of that. I didn't know what I was getting into when I moved back to Chattanooga 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I had no idea. But I like where we are right now. I
Yeah.
like that. I like our friendship. I'm proud of us for being, and I'm gonna say this too. I'm gonna be honest with the sippers. There was an incident a couple of weeks ago where I was really pissed at D. She had no idea, and we talked about. Yes, you do. Why you shaking your head?
A
You do,
couple of weeks ago?
D.
A couple of weeks ago?
Yes, you and I had a conversation on the phone that lasted for 2 hours.
Not a couple of weeks ago. Cause I was thinking about now what I done did now. Like, okay. Okay, but yeah, that was at least a month ago. That
Okay,
was
a month
yeah,
ago.
cause I done had like two book club meetings since then. So yeah.
Okay. Well, a month ago, I guess Dee and I had a conversation, but about I was mad at her, but not mad, but just a little annoyed with her. And I'm proud of us to be able to work through that. I didn't know how to approach the conversation because this is my best friend, but I like the fact that she heard me out and I heard her out, and we came to a conclusion of things, and we were on the same page. And I also like that even if, you know, we may had to end the podcast, D was like, well, okay, that still doesn't mean that our friendship is gonna end. And I'm just saying that because I was kind of nervous how the conversation was gonna lead our friendship. And the fact that we've gone through that, and I feel like we are closer because of that. Or I don't know. I felt really good about that situation. So I just want to say I'm proud of myself for approaching you with a problem. I'm proud of you for responding with solutions and, owning up to whatever. That's adult. That's an adult conversation. It didn't take any hooping and hollering. It didn't take any tantrums and throwing things at each other. It was very adult of us. And I'm just grateful that I have a friend that hears me out. That was, I don't know. I don't want to get emotional, but I'm just glad that we got through
Please listen, I cried in our
that.
other episode, so
I'm
by
glad
all
that we got
means.
through that for real, because I love you a lot more.
I
But
love you
I'm
too,
so
chick.
glad that we got through that, because I just know who my real friend is. So all my friends, the people that
Absolutely.
I call my friends, are true and genuine, but D is my ace for sure. So
Listen, I'm just proud of you for taking time to come to me woman to woman. And I don't know funny stuff either. It's always hard to have those conversations with people that you're close with because
You
you
so
don't want
funny.
to
You said, what I done did now?
listen, because I ain't perfect. I am not perfect and I don't pretend to be. And I will take accountability.
A couple of weeks ago, I was like, yeah, like D, it was a couple of weeks ago.
It was not, but I'm trying to think back to 2 weeks from today, what all was going on. I can be oblivious for real, and people have to tell me sometimes how I, you know, move because I don't see how I move through other people's eyes. And so people gotta tell me. And I can own up to everything I need to own up to. And I appreciate those moments. I appreciate Lena sitting me down and, letting me know because I have so much going on that it takes over and I gotta prioritize better. I gotta prioritize better. That's always been a constant growth for me. And I am
Mhm.
learning. I am
We,
learning. Yeah. And of course, I'm going to listen. And of course, I'm not going to hoot and holler because I'm not no hooting and hollering woman. It really takes a lot to get me to that point. And if I'm hooting and hollering, y'all, something horrible has happened because
see,
I
that's the
don't do that.
problem. It don't take me that long. And that's why I'm glad we got through it. Cause I know me. But anyway.
Yeah, no, you did it right. You waited and you sat on it for a minute and then you came cool, calm, and collected and we had a grown-up conversation. And so I'm glad to see that you felt like that was
Yeah.
a productive conversation that you appreciated and that you feel good about and that we're better for it. That makes me feel good because listen, I want to grow. I don't want to be stagnant. I want to move. I
Yeah.
want to move up in life and I want to be around people that's helping me grow. That's the thing. I want to be around people that's helping me grow. And that was validating to me that you are one of those people. You're not someone who's going to hold me back and not encourage progression. So, and that's what I
Hmm.
need. And that's what we both need. Like I need to, I could do that too. I can also be there for you in that way and make sure you got what you need, the tools that you need to grow and whatever you're trying to accomplish, I support that 1,000%. However, I can be of resource, we gonna climb this together and we gonna get into those rooms with big players. I feel it and I see it. Like we already like what was funny, my mom, there's I think it's called What the Magazine Is, but she sees people and magazines are one of our local magazines and she saw like great black leaders in the magazine and she's even like y'all should have this person on the podcast or y'all need to interview this person, that type of like support just goes to show like how we are positioned, that people are thinking of like they have us in mind when we're not around.
Yeah.
So
True.
very cool. Well, was that how you wanted to end your
Yeah.
chatting on the moments? Because that was huge. You had some
Yeah.
really good ones.
Yeah. You did too. You had some really good ones.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we can end it because we're getting close to an hour.
yeah, yeah. That was good, and I feel like it's always great to have those reminders. And I am very proud of you for how you've been handling all your situations because getting additional help at work, absolutely you could have took that another way. But like you
Mhm.
said, they care if they coming at you like that. It's when they decide to put you on an action plan and leave you alone is when you need to be concerned, but they're helping you by training you and
Mhm.
forgiving yourself. That's huge. That is huge. And punctuality is even more.
of a thing to recognize. That's again, it's small things, but it's still huge impact. So, listeners, thank you for.
I don't know if I connected the dots though, but I was trying to say the SZA album made me feel like I'm aligned. I think
Okay,
that's where I'm trying to say.
okay.
I think. I think. But yeah, I'm good.
Listen to that, SZA. I haven't really played new music in a while.
Yeah, I really been listening just to Kendrick and yeah, just Kendrick lately. Cause I'm also trying to get myself hyped up for the concert. So
As you should, as you should. It's gonna be a good time.
yeah.
Well,
All right. Well, you got any intentions this week or you just gonna let it be?
I will be intentional this week about y'all. So we're recording this podcast on April 15th, which if you live in the
Oh yeah.
States,
Wait, I got my taxes finished last week. I'm very proud of that. That was
amen.
a great moment last week.
Amen.
Like, yes. So yeah, the extension is until November, but I am very happy that I made it before the April deadline. Cause usually I would be filing today.
Absolutely. And I praise you and listen, thank you for saying that because that is huge to acknowledge. I want to be
Mhm.
one of those people one day. But me, myself, and I, we will be on the computer tonight because I wouldn't be me if I didn't procrastinate. So that is my intention. We gonna
Okay.
handle them taxes tonight. They've been on my mind for months, but what are you gonna do? I got it. I got it, y'all. I got it under control.
Mhm.
Under control. I got me. What the people say?
I wonder if the Urban League is
If they're
extending their program. Yeah.
well, I mean,
That was very
for
helpful.
people that live in Georgia and a few other states, due to some natural disasters, taxes are due like May 1st, I think. Like, there's some
Mhm.
states that have a bit of an extension, and even like DC and a couple of other places have a couple days for like federal holiday reasons. So, and I know like Chattanooga is right in the middle of several states. So if you don't have time today, you don't live in Tennessee, follow up with what state you live in. If you're listening to this podcast within the next couple of weeks of April 15th. But for me, that's my intention. Did you have anything you wanted to add for the upcoming days?
Not just be on work on time. I haven't been able to go to the gym because of my work schedule this week, but so make sure that I'm walking at the end of the day, like getting a lap in 20 minutes or 30 minutes in. I'm gonna be intentional about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that because you are pivoting. You still getting in your exercise, even though your routine has adjusted. So that's amazing because if you want to stay consistent, there's no excuses. You found an alternative, another way around it. Which I'm gonna share something about that. I didn't want to say anything about it. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything about it. I'm gonna wait till I actually do it, and then I'll share it with y'all. So stay tuned. Cliffhanger.
Okay.
All right, well, sippers, thank y'all for tuning in. We gonna put a fork in it. That's a wrap. Hope we see y'all at the Glass Street Block Party if you local and listen to this before the
Yes. Yes.
19th. Also,
Yes.
the block party is the same day as the Chattery's Easter egg hunt. So if y'all want to look up the details of the Easter egg hunt for adults, look it up. Again, the Chattery is hosting
Yeah.
an Easter egg hunt for adults. It's a full itinerary of events. There's the Easter egg hunt, and then I think there's like a happy hour for the festivities. It's at the Sculpture
Mhm.
Park. If you're in Chattanooga, please look up the Chattery's Easter egg hunt and keep posted on the contest that they had. I voted for my favorite egg because what they do is they have these artists
I didn't
decorate
get to vote.
eggs. Y'all, go on their page and look at all the eggs that are decorated. I kid you not. It is pure artwork. You would be surprised how creative people got with decorating their Easter eggs. You know, I saw one
Mhm.
decorated based on Legos. There was another one decorated where they carved out the inside of the egg and literally had like this fairy tale scene within the egg. And y'all know how
Yeah,
small eggs are. It's crazy. That was my number one pick, I think.
I showed my mom
It's
those.
so cool. They had one decorated like a porcupine. It looks so real. Another one decorated like a rose of flower in a garden. But yeah, again, the Chattery is doing their thing on April 19th, Glass Street Block Party on April 19th. And happy Easter to everyone. If y'all listen to this before Easter Sunday, happy Easter to you all. And to all a good night.
Bye, y'all.